Oh boy, Sony's had quite the last few weeks, haven't they? So, if you haven't heard, Sony's been doing a lot of really interesting things, both on systems and with games, and they've been mixed-ish, you know? We had Concord release at the tail end of August, and that was a complete, utter failure, going offline basically 2 weeks later because it's terrible. I mean, I haven't played the game, I heard it was freaking awful. Then we had Astro Bot released the same day, which was a great success, a great 3D platformer, which I am so excited to play. Oh my god, this game looks phenomenal. But by far, the biggest piece of Sony news to sweep the internet off its feet this week was the reveal of the PlayStation 5 Pro. That's right, an upgraded version to the PlayStation 5. And I'm just very confused by this because the PlayStation 5 came out 4 years ago, and from what I understood, it's a very great system. I own one. It has great graphics, great FPS and fidelity, it has a great UI, and overall, I think it's the best system that Sony's ever produced, and I really enjoy it, from a technical standpoint and a game standpoint. But the fact that they're trying to go ahead and make an upgraded version now of all times is questionable, but it's not also out of the ordinary as well. Because, you know, ever since 1995 with the PlayStation 1 releasing, Sony's have been doing revisions for all their systems. You know, we had the PS1, actually called the PS1. We had the PS2 Slim, the PS3 Slim, and of course the PS4 Pro last generation. And usually with these types of upgrades, they usually want to make them, you know, a bit cheaper, more streamlined, easier to use, give them a higher CPU capacity to get better games at better quality. You know, stuff that will make the system a lot better. But with the PS5 being as good as it is already, kind of just seems redundant by that point. But, you know, they did release a little direct trailer for it, and they did explain a few reasons why they wanted to do this, and while not being terrible reasons, it just baffles me, you know, to a point, but let's just discuss these anyway, because why not, honestly? Now, in the presentation, Sony basically labeled on 3 big things that make the PS5 Pro a better system, and while I'm not really a big tech expert, these seem kind of like, okay, so an upgraded GPU to basically make it faster and can compute things better. I mean, sure, why not? But the PS5 base, it can run things pretty well, honestly, already on its own. Like games like Spider-Man 2 and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, stuff like loading zones and fast travel are practically instantaneous and doesn't take away from any of the action of the game. And even stuff in general, from like going from main menus and stuff to into the actual game, some stuff is pretty fast already on its own, so I don't really see how getting a bigger and faster GPU might help. But I mean, I guess it's something to give the PS5 Pro, and hey, look, it's a faster system, but I think already on its own, the PS5 can load things pretty well and pretty quickly. Like, I can get into Spider-Man 2 so fast it's not even funny. So, me personally, I'm not really a big tech guy, I don't really understand GPU that much, but if it's just in the way of processing power, yeah, no, no thanks. I feel like it's just a big thing just for nothing, honestly. PS5 is great already as it is. Then they talked about advanced ray tracing, and this here, I'm not actually against. You know, having stuff like better lighting, better shadows, better reflections on surfaces, I think is a very neat idea, because like, being able to see all these different environmental effects in your game world makes it feel so much more lived in and more like there's actual stuff going on. Like, imagine you're in Spider-Man 2 and you see the reflections of all the windows and all the shadows, or if you're playing Gran Turismo and you see, you know, the cars reflecting against other cars or in the water. That is really cool, and I like seeing more of a lived-in, kind of cool, like, looking thing for these games. So something like that I'm not really against, but you can only get so far. There are games I can play right now, like, again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Spider-Man 2, or Ratchet & Clank, that have really great lighting and really great shadows. Now, yeah, there are some little things I guess an advanced ray tracing might be able to fix, but again, as it is, these things are really great for what they've been able to do for the base system so far. So I guess making it being better is an upgrade, but like, you can only get shadows to look so good, and I think we're at a good place where shadows and lighting look really good. But hey, it's something that I'm not totally against. So advanced ray tracing, sure, why not? But bring it in there, cool. And then there's also the AI-driven upscaling. Listen, I get you want to make your images as sharp as they can be, I understand that, and sometimes you can't really have the necessary technology to make those things look great, but why does it have to be AI? From what I understand, it's a PlayStation built-in AI that's supposed to, you know, look at the game and make it, you know, bring out the best possible image. I get that, but like, there are so many games on the PS5 already that look amazing even without AI. Like God of War Ragnarok, that game looks phenomenal. Horizon Forbidden West looks phenomenal. Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy, Ratchet & Clank, Astro Bot. A lot of these games look really, really good, and there is no need for AI. Now, I understand that's the future. I know that a lot of companies are going with the AI route, but like, do we really need it? The internal components of the PS5 can produce some amazing graphics as is, and I think it's one of the best looking systems on the market. Even though I'm not really the biggest graphics guy, I can say that PS5 games look phenomenal, but I just don't think we really need a PlayStation AI, even if it is an internal thing that will, take the image and all its components and make it nice on the other side with the AI. Okay, cool, whatever. But me personally, I'm not really a big fan of AI. I think the PS5 can make this stuff great on its own. I don't think you need to justify a big whole new system just to do this, but whatever. Those are the three big things for it. The GPU, the ray tracing, and the AI upscaling. Then they also talked about performance mode versus fidelity mode, where basically in modern games right now, you can only choose between performance mode, which is the game will run at 60 FPS, but the game might look a bit crappier with the graphics, or high fidelity, which will make the game look amazing, but it will be locked at 30 FPS. And Sony wants to make it so you don't need to pick between any of that. The game will run at 60 FPS and it will look as best as it can be. And stuff like that is actually pretty interesting because for a while, having this on PlayStation 5 I thought was really weird because, PS4, it was the start of the HD era and that was the thing for that and that was all fine. But PS5, it can get some pretty great graphics going on it, and the fact that, some games can only look as best as they can be, only locked at 30, is very odd. So the fact that they're trying to fix this and make it so like, hey, we can make our games look amazing and you can run at 60 FPS to have the ultimate fluidity, that I think is really, really cool, even if they're locking it behind a brand new system, because I want to play my games the best that they can look. I want them to look as smooth as they can look. So I'm glad that they're kind of, trying to fix this issue and make it, more of a mainstay. But again, having it behind a brand new system, I'm not really a big fan of, but hey, at least they're trying to focus it maybe for PS6 or whatever it's gonna be in the future. It'll be a locked 60 for every game, and that'd be awesome. I'd be down for that. Yeah, that at least they're addressing the issue, but still, behind a new system, I don't know, man. But by far the biggest thing and the most controversial part of the whole presentation is the reveal of the price of the system. $700 for only a digital PS5 Pro without any stand, no disc drive, nothing. And that is absolutely absurd, okay? Now, for some clarification, I bought my disc PS5 in late 2022 with a bundle. It was around $800 and all that. And while it's a bit expensive, it was still cool to actually have it, and it didn't really break the bank. This PS5 Pro, in Canadian, is going to be roughly $950 for just the system, no disc drive, no stand. That's sold separately. And this is just insane to me because, yeah, the PS5 was a bit expensive. I won't deny that. Systems are expensive, but, this is more expensive than the base PS3 was at launch at, $600. This is insane to me. I don't know why Sony thought this was a good price for it because, frankly, this is basically a ripoff. Now, yeah, you have, your great GPU, your ray tracing and all that. Okay, cool, whatever. But the fact that this is a digital system, which alone I don't really like because I've never really been a big fan of the digital-only model. But, if you want the disc drive, it's sold separately, which is probably going to be a big old $100, honestly. The stand that you might want it to stand up on or clear some of the vents on, that's also sold separately, which is weird because the base model had the stand come in as part of the box, so that's really weird. So, overall, I just think the whole idea of it just being that expensive is not really worth it because, yeah, you might be able to move over your PlayStation Plus account and all that, and you'll have your games to download, that's fine, but, all your disc games, if you want to use them, gotta fork over an extra $150 or whatever dollars to play them. So, honestly, I just think the idea of it being a digital system is really, really stupid, and the fact that it's that expensive alone is just ridiculous. Honestly, I don't get it. Honestly, the only people I could feel who might want to play it are A, creators who want the best possible, looking games, and that's fair, or secondly, people who haven't picked up a PS5 yet, because I will admit, back in 2020, it was very hard to find a system, and I didn't find one until late 2022, so if you haven't picked one up yet, I'm sure this might be a great opportunity, but that price hike, that $700 USD, or $950 Canadian, is a pretty big price hike, and I don't know how many people are willing to bite the bullet on a PS5 Pro just because of that, but I'm not gonna buy it because I already have one, but frankly, I'm gonna be curious to see how this does in sales because it comes out in November, right in time for the holiday season. It comes out the same day as the new Mario Luigi game as well, so I'm hoping Mario Luigi does more in sales because that's a better game and you can do a lot more with it, but But in general, the PS5 Pro looks a complete waste of space, honestly. Yeah, it's cool that it has, you know, the upgraded GPU and the ray tracing and all that, and it makes it look cooler, fine and all that, but that price point is a big old yikes. Being it digital only is a big old yikes, and frankly, the fact that it locks so many things like the performance mode and fidelity mode like together thing being locked behind the new system is really, really dumb. But overall, I just think it's a really dumb idea. The pricing is ridiculous. The features are kind of lackluster to really optimize the purchase, but I'm not gonna buy it. I already have my base PS5. I love it to bits. I'm gonna keep it the way it is, but if you don't have one, then maybe it's for you. But honestly, the PS5 base can do so many other things that, you know, it's really great at, and I don't really think you need to justify a new system for, you know, higher stuff, frame rates, and better looking visuals, honestly. So yeah, big old no from me, but that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, because I want to hear what y'all think about the PS5 Pro. But if you excuse me, I'm gonna go play my base PS5 because Spider-Man 2 still is a gorgeous looking game. I will defend it for all my life. It's awesome. So, spider away! Phew.